Hi, good morning. It's Kendall from Real Living Real Estate with the market update for Palm Coast for the third quarter of 2013. I hope you can hear this well. I know I'm having a little bit of audio problems, but this is timely data and I want to get it out as quickly as I can to you. First, going to take a overall look at the Palm Coast data broken down by price range. You can see that we had 522 transactions in the third quarter. That is up slightly over the second quarter where we had 519. If you do some quick math, if you add up all the total sales here, you might notice that these numbers total a little bit over 522. That's because some of the sales fall right on the number, and so they get recorded both, for instance, in the 150 category and then again in the 150 to 200. But I think it's statistically insignificant, and this is still a good reflection of what's happening in our market. I do want to point out that the average days on market is relatively healthy at 93 on average. Obviously, as the price goes up, we see that the days on market is much greater. We also see the list to sale price ratio. That's the difference between what a property is finally listed for and what it ultimately sells for, is also quite high. It's a typical misconception on the part of home sellers that they need to build in a significant amount of room to negotiate. And my experience is that's not true. Here's the way, if you take a look at buyer behavior, what a buyer does is they start their search on the internet, they build their criteria, and maybe it produces 50 properties, and they think, well, I don't want to go look at 50 homes, I want to go look at 5. So how do they determine which 5 they're going to go look at? Well, they look at each online relative to the other 49, and they pare it down, and they're choosing the homes that they perceive as the best value. So they're looking at price per square foot, they're looking at really good photographs, hopefully, of the property. So by the time they get out there, they've already deemed your property well positioned. Otherwise, you wouldn't be getting any showing activity. So take a quick look at a couple of absorption rates by price range. This is homes under $100,000. And what you'll see here in the blue bar graph are the number of months of inventory that we have in our market, and the red line reflects the chances that a home in this price range will sell in under 30 days. And what you can see is that the months of inventory is down, down, down below 1 month. What that means is that if you have a home listed for sale that is priced under $100,000, as long as it doesn't have any structural problems, it is going to sell. There's just no question about it. When we move up a little bit in the price range here, take you to homes that are between 100 and 150, we see the same kind of trend. There is a little bit more inventory, but our chances of that home actually moving in 30 days remains quite high. Skipping along to some of the other price ranges, we're seeing similar trends. Absorption rate is down, chances of selling a home quickly are up. It really isn't until we get to homes that are over 300,000 that we start to see some drop off in the amount of activity that we're seeing. In the 300 to 500 price range, we had 46 homes sold in the third quarter as opposed to 39. So that market is continuing to rise. The market that's falling off a bit here are the homes over 500,000. You can see our inventory is increasing. We've got over 20 months now. And what I'm finding is happening in these higher price markets is most of those homeowners had made the strategic decision not to be for sale. Now that we're starting to see some life back in the real estate market, a lot of people have been sitting on the sidelines, are listing their homes for sale. And we're seeing that everywhere from roughly 350 on up to the 7 figures. So I'm going to jump ahead here, show you what's happening in our condo market. Again, we're seeing the same kind of trends that we were seeing in that single-family housing market. Condos here under $150,000. We've got roughly 3 months worth of inventory, and our chances of successfully selling these condos is growing. I think that the condo market represents a real opportunity here for buyers. You know, it's not easy to build, ramp up, and create new inventory. There haven't been any condo projects started in Palm Coast really since 2007. There is one project in Grand Haven that was stalled. This outer shell was built. One of my associates here at Real Living sold that project to an investor, and we are finishing out those condos and expect to have a model open in the spring. But aside from that, there is no condo activity in terms of new construction going on, and I really feel pretty strongly that we're going to wind up having a shortage of inventory in the not too distant future. So here we're looking at condos up to $300,000. Inventory is just under 6 months. That's what I consider a balanced market. So certainly an indication that higher prices are ahead. Now, as we start to move up over 300, the inventory jumps to about 10 months. But again, I want you to concentrate on the trend. The trend is definitely down. This is a good price range to be looking at because the sellers don't have a lot of control here. There's still a lot of good bargains, but pretty soon this part of the market is going to balance out. The last thing I'm going to show you, because I think it's another area of potential opportunity, these are single-family lots here in Palm Coast in the original ITT platted lots. They're mostly 10,000 square foot lots in ungated communities. We definitely, one of the most common things that I see when I'm counseling a buyer and we're going through the initial consultation of what is it that they're looking for, one of the first things that buyers in our market typically tell us is, you know, we really don't want a house that's more than 10 years old. Well, since we've had essentially no construction for the last 5 years, and years 6 through 10 are kind of backing off the back of the, falling off the back end there, it's going to get harder and harder for people to have a newer home unless it's a new home, and that means construction has to start. So this is a look at Palm Coast lots that are priced under $50,000. You can see back in August of 2011 when we hit our high over here, over 35 months of inventory. I mean, that's just ridiculous. But since then we have had a steady decline in the number of lots available for sale, or months of inventory available for sale, and it's been a combination of both lots coming off the market and buyers stepping in and starting to accumulate these lots. Particularly builders are definitely starting to build their inventory as they ramp up construction. Excuse me. So anyway, we are down now to 10 months inventory, but the best lots, frankly, are starting to get consumed, and so again, I see this as an area where we haven't quite hit balance yet, so there's still some good deals out there, but they won't be around much longer. So anyway, that's my quarterly update for Palm Coast. If you would like to get in touch with me and have a little bit deeper dive in what's going on either with your home, your neighborhood, or if you're a buyer and you're looking for investment opportunities, second homes, whatever, I'd be happy to speak with you. Hope you all are having a great day. Bye now.